All Warming has a bag of chips, and he's just dumping it into his mouth. Cheese. Thank you. Hey, what's up, you? Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a super simple video, a little bit different than my normal content. Hey guys, this is Editing Logan here. So just a little quick backstory. If you have subscribed to this channel, it's probably for the old SpongeBob and Sandy slideshow things that I posted like 11 years ago. Really weird, I know. Don't ask me. I was 11 years old, whatever. I've decided to use this channel now. And yeah, welcome to it. I do have another channel, and that's what I was referencing in this video when I was talking about it. I'll link it in the description. Have a lot of old music covers on there. Plan to upload more music-based stuff on there. Yeah, okay, back to the video. But it's almost the start of the new year, and there's a lot of things that have been going on in my life, a lot of changes, and so I think a really good way to just kind of kickstart off this channel again is to start fresh. I mean, completely just throw whatever I film up on YouTube and to see what sticks. But today I wanted to do a really just chill, relax, kind of get ready with me. We are currently out of town on our family Christmas vacation, and we really don't have like a whole lot to do this morning, and so I have like a lot of extra time just to be able to sit and kind of enjoy doing my makeup. I feel like when I go out of town, especially being a mom with a 2-year-old, there's not a lot of times that I get to really just sit back, relax, and enjoy the process of putting on my makeup. So we're just going to start with the face. My skin is clean and prepped. I have my normal skincare routine already done. I'll do a separate video for that. But we're going to go in, start with everything else that we're going to do. I went ahead and I did already apply my primer off camera. It is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I swear by this primer. I love it. It feels really, really nice on my skin, and it blends really, really nicely. Stick for several hours at a time, because most of the time, like, I'm one of those people that I really don't wear a whole lot of makeup in general, but when I do, it's usually because we have something to do that day, or if it's just one of those days where I just want to feel good about myself and just, you know, put something on. For the last couple months, I've been on like a really intense, like, self-healing journey, taking a lot of time to really come into myself as a woman, especially now after having a kid. The dynamic of how I view and take care of myself has changed significantly. And I'm sorry if you hear the TV and my son in the background. Like I said, we're in a hotel room. It's gonna be loud. I'm gonna try my best to kind of edit it to where it's not as bad. I've wanted to really take the time in the process to really be comfortable with my own skin and feel confident without feeling like I have to put on a different face. Because in the past I did use makeup as a crutch, and I felt like I would have to wear makeup to even be around family. Like, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere without doing a full glam makeup because I wasn't comfortable with my skin, especially after having health issues and things like that. My texture of my skin isn't super smooth. It's got a lot of scar tissue and things like that. But now I've just been wanting to come to a place to where I feel confident in being myself naked without the use of makeup or clothes or tattoos or things that I put on myself to cover myself. Start things off, lately I have been using a little bit of powder, especially on this trip. I feel like I've needed just a little something to help, I don't know, kind of pull myself together, especially because I haven't been getting a lot of sleep because we're traveling with a 2-year-old. So I've been using the CoverGirl Clean Matte Pressed Powder. It's not super heavy coverage. It's really light coverage, actually. I like to go with just like the same brush that I use for my blush and highlight. So I usually take just a little bit. And then I usually take my kabuki brush. I'll go in with the Airspun Loose Face Powder. And I try not to get like a whole bunch, especially because I'm wearing black. I'll take quite a bit of that off.
And I just lightly go in and kind of blend out where I put that pressed powder. It's all over my
And I will leave this set out because this is usually what I put on top of my face after I do my bronzer. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a light contour and some bronzer to kind of help add some color back into my face. Lately I've been using the Revolution Makeup Mega Bronzer in the shade Warm, which is 02 Warm. And this is what I use for my contour. I have found that if I use a neutral contour, it does make my face really gray. And then I have to add in more blush and things like that to kind of add back some life into my skin. So I've always used warm toned bronzers as my contour, and you know, for the past couple of years it's worked really well for me. I know everybody's different and everybody has different preferences. Just dip it lightly and just kind of like tap it. And then I will go in like that. And I just make a straight line across my cheekbones, very light. And I slowly kind of bring that pigment up. And then I do the same thing, take just a little tap, bring it down on the nose. And then I'll usually take a little bit and lightly dust it underneath my chin to kind of further define my jawline. And I'm going to go back in with the AO1 brush, and I'm going to just I don't have any powder on this. It's just kind of like whatever was left from what I just put on my face. And I go ahead and I just lightly blend that. My son is currently getting a snack. My son is over there on the couch with my husband, and he has a bag of chips, and he's just dumping it into his mouth. It's 100% a mood. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a bronzer now. Like my actual bronzer. It's different than what I used to contour. It's a little bit darker, and then I use a big fat fluffy bronzer brush. So now we're gonna go in with the Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder. This is number 1 light. I usually take, and I don't ever, like for certain things, like for my loose powders and things like that, I will just dip right on top. But I like to use kind of the flat part of the brush. I like to dip it, tap. And then for my bronzer, I kind of start here in my eyebrow area and just kind of gently buff that out. And then I get down here and I make big circles with this. And just bring it to about the halfway point of my cheekbone. Do the same thing on the other side. And then I will dip it once and just get like a really light coverage on it. And I will just kind of quickly add some to my whole face. I'm going to go in with the blush, and I cover the whole top of the blush, but then I tap the crap out of it because I don't like a lot, but I just want to make sure that it's all covered on top. So everybody down! I'll tap, and the way that I do this is I try to blend it into where I've put the bronzer, and I go right on top of where the contour was. So I put my contour here, I'm going to put the blush right on top. And everything is very light coverage. You can still see my skin tones and my skin texture underneath everything. This is just to add just a little bit of definition. And then I take just a little bit and I go on the top of my nose. And then I do take a little bit and I like to go right here on the brow bone, back into the temple, and kind of pull it down. I don't know, I think it adds just like a cute little dimension to my face. We're gonna go back to the Spectrum brush and we're just gonna lightly blend. I like to get this really big and fat on my face and just kind of blend up. Never really dragging down because I'm wanting to keep all this up. And then we're gonna go in with the remainder of this powder. It's not like a whole lot. I go in. So in the next couple seconds of this clip, I'm talking about putting barely any powder on my face, tapping brush, yada yada yada, blending everything out. My son is crying, and we're back. That is it for my face. Okay, sorry about that. Just, you know, traveling, trying to make plans, working around toddler naps. So I'm going to start off with this CoverGirl eye enhancers. This is my purse palette. This stays in my purse. I really like this one. I like the colors in it. Nothing more to say. Super cute. But I'm going to go in with this really nice neutral brown. And I'm going to make sure to dip the tip of the brush in for this. I'm going to go in underneath the under eye really lightly, kind of adding some brown down in here. I'm going to very lightly bring this up, kind of angle it towards my eyebrows up here.
The tail of my eyebrow. Just lightly bring it out, blending it back down, creating kind of a seamless line up.
And then I'm going to be very, very careful to just only use the tip of this brush, and I'm going to bring this color into my crease.
Making sure to stay in my crease itself and not coming up onto this brow bone area, because we're going to blend it up there, but we don't want there to be a really harsh line of demarcation.
What I'm going to do with the rest of my makeup, it's a very light, subtle difference. And so then I'm going to go in and I'm going to very gently buff what we just put in the crease. Making sure to slowly start to bring it up into that brow bone area, but not too much.
And then we're not going to touch where we kind of put that wing, and we're just going to come down underneath here.
So now we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to go in with this like really nice mushroom shade. Again, only using the tip of the brush to just lightly dip it. And we're going to follow exactly where we put that makeup before, except I'm not going to bring that brown as far into my under eye. I'm just going to go about halfway. Now we're going to extend this line up, and you can kind of see where we're starting to form that line. Having to be really, really careful and bringing this into my crease. So now I'm going to go in with the Morphe H6. This is more of just like your traditional eyeshadow brush. It's a lot smaller. It's not as fluffy compared to this one. And we're going to make a concentrated movement here. So I'm going to go underneath the under eye about where we started that mushroom and kind of lightly blend it into that other shade of brown. And then I'm going to bring everything down.
Kind of trying to smoke it out. Now we're going to go into this, and we're going to blend very lightly, just barely touching the lid.
Now I'm going to start here. I'm going to leave this point alone. I'm going to start here where my crease is, and I'm just going to very gently buff it out and bring it up into that brow bone. It's a very realistic get ready with me with a toddler. And then we're going to just do the same thing, rinse and repeat on the other side. Now we're going to go in again with the Morphe palette. We're going to go in just a slightly darker brown. We're going to go with this one right here, and I'm going to take an angled brush. This is the brush that I usually use for my eyebrows. And it works just the same. It's just a fine angle brush. Now we're going to go in with what we've been using to blend, and we're going to add a little bit of a transition shade. I'm going to go in with this kind of neutral, it's like a lightish brownish orange color, like a, not really, like a warmer taupe, I would say, and just really lightly dip it, not a whole lot, just two little doop-doops. Make sure to tap. And now we're going to we're not going to touch anything down here right now. We're just going to focus on the crease, kind of going now into my actual eyelid and bringing it up.
Kind of a nice, really gentle back and forth motion. Bringing it up on that brow.
And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I am back once again, just mom stuff. We're figuring out what we're going to do for lunch. So I'm so excited. We're going to go get sushi. Oh, it's so excited. Okay, so now we're going to finish this makeup look. We left off with the darker brown transitioning into my brow. Everything looks pretty even. So now we're going to go in with just a little pop of color before we go in and highlight my eyelid itself. Instead of going back in with the small crease brush, we're going to go in with the brush that we had been using to blend. And I'm going to go in with this kind of reddish brown shade. We're going to go in on our crease up here. Kind of add it in on both sides. And I like to add a little bit right kind of by where the corner of the eye is before we add in the white. And now we're actually going to go in with the blending brush this time because we're not having to concentrate on this outer eye, keeping that point sharp.
Kind of blending things where they need to be even. Okay. Now we're going to go in with what we're going to do in the center.
So we're going to go back to that CoverGirl palette, the CoverGirl palette I talked about. We're going to go in with this really light white shade. And it's not bright white, it's pretty tan. And we're going to go in on our under eye corners, tapping in that color, bringing it up into the lid, and then just connecting it through the center.
Blend these together where those colors do meet.
Now we're going to do my eyeliner.
And just very lightly add it. I always kind of go from the outer corner into the center, and then go from the inner corner. See that line very thin into the center. Not a whole lot. I don't need it super dark.
So I've been using this really pretty brown. It's the voluminous, it's L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Original in the shade black brown, and it's not black. It's a really pretty brown. It's like almost like an espresso coffee color. Just slap some mascara on, however you see fit. For me, I do like a little wiggle jiggle, and if we get a little bit on our upper brow right underneath, it's just whoop. And with this being brown, it practically disappears. It doesn't leave those black streaks. I love it. So that's that. And now for my lips. So, actually, I think I'm going to go in with this. This is the Powder Lip Cream, the Powder Puff Lippy by NYX in Squad Goals. Which is really simple. And that's it. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's kind of chaotic over the place, but I hope that this was just like a time that we could come together, get ready together, and just, you know, have something playing in the background. That's what I usually do. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.